Welcome, everyone, and we are here to talk Civil War! I, of course, am Matt Mike. Yeah?
Mike, wrong show.
Oh, wait. This is not the Civil War podcast?
No, this is not that.
But I'm wearing a I'm wearing a lucha mask. We are here to talk the Midweek War! I'm Mad Mike. I am still Team Underoos, and with me, as always, is the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling, Eamon Payton. How are you, sir?
I'm slightly confused, but also very excited to talk about Lucha Underground this week.
As am I, Eamon.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I had to gimmick it up a little bit. We are starting a little later than usual, but I just came from Civil War, doo-dah. My review... See it. Just fucking see it.
And there's the Civil War podcast.
And that's my review of Lucha and Civil War. See it. Just watch. Consume all you can. All right. So yeah, we're here to talk Lucha Underground. The Spider-Man mask was a Lucha mask, so you know it kind of fits. By the way, I wore that for 2 minutes. I'm already blown up. I don't know how people on Lucha do it. So Eamon, ¿cuál es tu palabra for this week's Lucha?
I actually tried to think of this all day, and I couldn't think of un palabra. I have 2 words, but I can't. I just have to say it in 2 words because there's no other way I can do it. And that is, and stay with me here, cero miedo.
Huh. Okay. All right. I think I know where you're going with it.
What you associate with this isn't on this week's show, but the concept.
I think I know where you're going with it. My word for this, mi palabra for this week is fuck. I think we're talking about the same match, which we'll get to. But yeah, that's really the only word I can say for several different reasons. All right, Eamon, ¿cuál es tu bueno this week?
Let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about this. One of many are saying one of the best matches of the season. I would completely agree. And that was the No Mas match.
Wait. We're not talking about Cage versus Masquerade Sagrada?
No, actually, no.
Sorry. Of course, yeah.
Easily confused. But no, Sexy Star versus Mariposa. The conclusion to this feud that's been lasting this whole season, in an amazing match. This really, I think, we talk all the time about how the characters that are really integral with the Lucha Underground and really important and are synonymous with the company, and I can argue that the performance Sexy Star put on in this match really cements her as one of the stars, the true stars of Lucha.
Yeah, the No Mas match, like, as soon as I heard the concept, I'm like, oh, this is going to get real, like, really quickly. And Jesus, man, it killed. It absolutely killed. They went places in this match that not even, like, the big guys have gone to. Like they went literally up into the Sting rafters. Oh my God. It got scary for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. This, I think, it did an amazing job of telling the story of this whole feud. It wasn't, and I loved it because it wasn't like the cleanest thing. Like, it wasn't like the most like clean wrestled match because it wasn't supposed to be.
No, it absolutely wasn't.
It felt like a fight. It felt like a struggle, and a good struggle. Like, I really enjoyed this. Sexy Star's, overarching story, and there was stuff, like we mentioned, the stuff we love about Lucha is how they've tied in stuff from past episodes, and it seems like a continued story and a continued narrative. I mean, there was stuff that was being talked about in this match that was brought into play, like, in the first episode of season 1. Like, and I love that. The whole strong female character that is Sexy Star is one of the best characters on the show, and is such an extremely different and important character in professional wrestling, I feel.
Yeah, and like I would love I would love to go to a taping of Lucha Underground. I want to so very badly. Like if I'm ever out in Cali when it happens, I want to go. At the same time, I kind of feel bad for the people in the audience.
Mm.
And there's not because you couldn't see what's going on up there. I'm sure you probably could. But because they didn't get the full story. Like presumably the people who got to see this live in person did not know the backstory between Mariposa and Sexy Star. They just were like, oh, okay, some shit must have gone down.
Right. I think they knew.
But
these people partially.
These people also didn't get to see the holy shit promo with Dario.
Oh, that promo was one of
my god.
It continues my thing about Dario being one of my favorite parts of Lucha Underground, because it's such a, for those that didn't watch, Dario basically has a sort of heart-to-heart conversation with Sexy Star about how, you know, she needs to overcome this. He reveals for the first time to somebody actually that's like a part of the Lucha roster that the story of him and Matanza and their mother.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's only revealed that to Black Lotus, and he says it and kind of compares the situation to her and Mariposa, and basically says that she has to go in there and fight for her life and make not just, you know, win, but make Mariposa.
Well, the best part after that was like because Dario is telling her, knowing full well she's going to kick ass, and then he says, when you do get satisfaction, don't stop.
Yeah,
don't fucking stop. Like, oh.
But it's so good because you never know, like, you start to think like, oh, maybe this is coming from like a real genuine place. Maybe there's like a softer side to Dario, but you also know that he's a shady, but underhanded promoter that wants to see his performers kill each other.
But see, the thing is, I think it was coming from at least the most heartfelt place Dario can have it come from, because of his fucked up, like his character's fucked up childhood. Mm-hmm. I think it was the most heartfelt that he could muster, because I think he actually did identify with Sexy Star.
And he
doesn't know exactly what happened, but he knows some shit went down.
But that's the best thing, is that you don't know. Like, you don't know what side he's coming from. And I think that brings such a complexity to his character. Like, I felt the same way where he revealed the story in the first place to Black Lotus. Like, when he's talking about it and you're like, oh, you're finally seeing like a human side to Dario, and then immediately he's like, nah, I love violence. I love violence.
But like, I think he and see, this is why if you're gonna have a heel GM character or just a GM character, you should get an actor. You should get an actor to do this, to play that pathos.
No, absolutely.
He sold it like a motherfucker.
And it, you know, obviously it changed into match, very violent. Sexy Star was bleeding a ton in this match.
Bleeding and dirty and ripped mask and
I love that she. And this is the one thing I just noticed, was that she was bleeding to a degree to where like the stones or whatever that are on her mask, like the diamonds, were like stained red.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's intense and that's crazy.
And going to my word, I mean, see, there's a reason that the saying "no mas" kind of doesn't work, because the first word is no. But Sexy Star kind of fixed that, because there's a point where you know the finish is coming. Like, you know, they've already fought through the crowd and everything. They're already battered and bloody and everything, and the ref just holds up the mic to her, and Sexy Star just screams, "Fuck no!" And they don't bleep it at all.
She screams, "Fuck you," and that's the best.
Oh,
part.
fuck you. That yeah.
It's so good.
Oh my god, like, and that's the point where I'm like, Lucha can do no wrong.
And that
They can do, like, I don't know if El Rey just allows anything on there, or if it's like a PG-13 show where you only get one fuck per season.
Maybe.
And if that's the case, that is the point to use fuck.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if El Rey allows it. Like, we've seen Harold Vampiro say shit and stuff on commentary before.
But shit you can say on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
You can say shit on comedies. Hell, South Park did a whole episode where they said shit like 137 times or something like that.
Yeah.
You can say shit on basic cable. I mean, I've never watched Kill Bill on El Rey, but now I'm guessing that they probably just leave everything in.
I'm assuming, yeah. Because, I mean, El Rey, the type of channel El Rey is, I think it's very lenient when it comes to that.
God, it just worked so well.
And it was probably the biggest pop of the season.
Oh, yeah. Oh, easily. Because they could have very well just bleeped it, too.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the message would still come across, but for us to hear it, just, like, that's passion. Like, and Vampiro talking about how he's never done an I Quit match or a No Mas match because he would rather die than quit.
And the fact that also talking about the fact that he's afraid of heights as well.
Like, he brought up the Sting stuff, which was awesome. It was so good. All right. So I think we've talked at length about that. Mi Bueno this week. It was the backstage segment with Dario and Sexy Star. But I'll also give it to the backstage segment with Famous B and Masquerita. Because, god damn it, if I didn't want Masquerita to win that medallion.
Just little dudes lifting weights. I'll pay money for that.
Like, as soon as Famous B said he got someone to put their medallion on the line, I'm like, oh no, it's Cage, isn't it? Holy Cage. Oh no, this is not going to end well. But Jesus, it's just so good.
Yeah. I really enjoyed all the backstage segments this week.
Yeah. Yeah, the one with Chavo was really good too.
I really love the stuff with Chavo this week. Because he basically, Dario's like, you fucked up all your chances. You've disappointed me. You're not getting any more chances.
It's almost like what we've all been saying about Chavo in just about every company he's been in.
Basically. And Chavo, the line that Chavo gives is like, if you're not going to give me an opportunity, I'm going to seize some opportunity. And I'm like, okay, that'll be interesting. But when you hear that from somebody, you're like, oh, they're going to attack someone. Oh, they're going to, cause some big thing. No, Chavo just runs in and steals Cage's medallion. And runs off like a dick.
And Famous B's like, yo, you got robbed. And Cage's like, what are you talking about? I won. He's like, no, bro, you got robbed.
Like, not lifting a finger, not putting in, like, actual work to anything. No, I'm just going to steal this dude's medallion and run off.
Just yoink.
That's his seizing of an opportunity.
It would have been even better if Chavo said yoink when he did it. All right, but not every show is perfect, naturally. Eamon, ¿cuál es tu malo this week?
My malo, and usually I actually skip the malo, but I actually did have one for this week. My malo is actually going to go to the King Cuerno Sinestro de la Muerte match. Mainly from the fact it was very short, and it didn't really have the ending I was expecting. Cuerno gets in a lot of offense on Sinestro basically in the match, and then Katrina nails Cuerno with the stone, and Sinestro beats him.
Yeah, there were a lot of short matches this week.
Yeah, well, and I can understand why. No pun intended with Masquerita. But I don't know. It's mainly from the fact that I really love King Cuerno. Like, he's one of my favorite characters on the show. And also, we had the stuff with Sinestro a few weeks ago with the whole ripping out other dudes' hearts and shit. So you expected a lot kind of going in. And I don't know. I like to think that there will be more stuff down the line, hopefully, with these two, which I would love to. I would love to see an actual kind of full-fledged match between the two, because both of them are, well, we know one of them is super talented in Cuerno, and I think Sinestro has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean, it served its point, I guess. Although it makes King Cuerno seem like a huge jobber now. Yeah,
it made him seem a little bit weak. But yeah.
Yeah. Me Malo this week is actually, it's something related to the No Mas match. We didn't need Marty and the Mac out there.
See, I actually didn't mind that. I think it was done.
I mean, it was done okay. I would have preferred without. I mean, I like that Mac didn't attack Mariposa at all.
Right, exactly.
He was just
he
there.
Only came out when Marty was there. He only came out to deal with Marty, and he let Sexy Star fight Mariposa.
Yeah, but I can't like if you're gonna have Marty come out, I would have rather had Sexy kick both their asses.
That's true. I think I really liked how Matt Striker kind of summed it up in the end, in that Mac was an influential part in helping kind of build Sexy Star's esteem back up, which I think was nice. Mm-hmm. And it really gave more to the Mac. Like, I think the Mac kind of gained something from this as well, you know? He kind of gained a bit from this story, even though he was like the fourth part in this kind of thing.
It might be because they had their match earlier too, and that might be why I'm down on it.
I kind of wish they would have done this match, the Marty Mac match last week
or next week
or the week, or the week after.
I mean, you could do it next week and have it because the Mac helped Sexy Star, fight off Marty.
Yeah,
like it kind of dovetails, and one dovetails into the other.
Yeah, well, and
then you can have a longer Cuerno and Sinestro match.
Yeah, and I have another idea for that kind of goes into my change, but it's okay. I think it was handled well though. Like when they had him in there.
All right, well let's get to your combio. What would your combio be for this week?
My combio when it comes to change, I would have loved, because we've gotten promos leading up to the Sexy Star Mariposa match. However, I think they've mostly been from Sexy Star and the Mac, like backstage-wise. Yeah. I would have loved something with Mariposa. Just one last thing with Mariposa before it. Like, the way I would have envisioned it would be, like, we transitioned to Marty immediately leaving after his match to the back, and there's an interaction between the two of them. It doesn't have to be long.
Like wishing his sister good luck or something.
Yeah, and I feel like it would have tied in, like, it would have made the show, like, kind of be like this whole entity that revolved around this thing. You know what I mean?
It would have been fluid, yeah.
Instead of being a kind of like almost disjointed.
They seemed like they happened at separate times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think it would have helped flow the interference into the main event a bit better. I just would have loved one more segment with Marty and Mariposa.
Okay. My change it's a very minor one. We got the announcement of graver consequences.
Yes.
Which that's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
My change is very slight, and probably just because I don't understand what they mean. Why 4 caskets?
Now I tried to think about this.
Now, did they misspeak and he meant 2, like one for Matanza and one for Dario, or one for Mill and one for Katrina, or they're just gonna be like false finish caskets?
I don't know. I'm thinking in a sense that that Dario is saying that there may be a chance that there will be no survivors at the end of it.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I
don't know
when you hunt for revenge, dig one grave for the person you're going after, and dig one grave for yourself.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how I don't know how you would pull that off in that match, but I think that's kind of what he kind of means, is the fact that, all 4 of us are going to be basically risking ourselves in that match.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that then, I guess.
Okay. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it just came off as awkward.
Yeah. When he said, I was like, what?
Because when he said graver consequences, I thought he was gonna mean like winner takes over the temple again. Like,
yeah,
because you could do that too. That would be graver consequences. But I don't know. It just came off as a little weird.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, I agree. Because when he said, I was like, wait, 4?
Yeah. Like I thought he might have meant 2. Like maybe one for each of us.
Because you expect him to say 2. Like, because. Yeah, but when he said 4, I was like, "Oh wow!" Like that's what I kind of.
Unless we're just gonna have like a bunch of false finishes through caskets.
The other one, the other ones are already gonna be filled with Trace and Barrio Negro.
Or Bale.
Or Bale, yeah.
Poor Bale. All right. So Eamon, where'd you rank Lucha this week?
Spoiler alert, it's my number 1.
Yeah. I don't even know why we ask on this one.
It's really a formality.
It's numero uno with a bullet.
Yeah. the Sexy Star Mariposa match alone is something people need to watch. It's available for free on their YouTube channel. It's
the whole
one of
matches?
the whole matches.
Wow.
They've been doing that where they release like one of the matches from the show on their YouTube. So
okay.
even if you don't get El Rey, go check them out there because it's a good way to see some of this stuff. Like, fucking amazing match. So I'd argue that this match is just as important as any other women's match that has been put on a mainstream television show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I put it right up there with Sasha and Bailey.
Yeah,
from Brooklyn.
And
y'all know how I feel about Sasha and Bailey from Brooklyn.
It's a completely different match, but
yeah, absolutely.
But it has a level of importance to it. Yeah, and it's so cool. I'm also very interested to see what's going to happen with this whole Gifts of the Gods match that we're building up to.
There's a lot of faces in it.
There's a lot. Well, unless Chavo, gets
all right, let's be realistic. Chavo's not getting in that match.
Well, you don't know that. Yeah, I mean, like we got Tejano, Aerostar,
Sexy Star, Mac, Cage, and I'm missing someone.
And Sinestro.
He's the only heel at this point.
Yeah, but I find it interesting that the Mac and Sexy Star will be in there together since they kind of formed that friendship now.
Oh yeah,
and I think that will be really interesting.
All right, let's take bets right now. Who do you think gets that last medallion?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Because I'm thinking the loser of Graver Consequences.
That could work. I want to say some combination. I feel like I would love to see some combination of a Jack Evans, PJ Black.
Oh yeah, one of them. That'd be
maybe Phoenix again, even. I don't know if that would work.
I feel like that's going to the well too much.
I don't know what the rules necessarily of the title is. If the last person that won it can also compete in the match, but yeah.
Well, I mean, probably not, considering it's Dario.
That's true, exactly. And I say that it's Dario's belt, so he can do whatever the hell he wants. So
the only other person I'd love to see in there, but it's in our face, Son of Havoc.
Son of Havoc would be a good fit in there. Yeah, there's a lot of good options. There's a lot of good people that you could possibly maybe even Masquerita. Who knows?
Oh, I would love or Pimpy.
No, Pimpinella. Where's Pimpinella? Who knows Pimpinella?
Don't worry. Famous B is making sure Pimpy gets fame. All right, so Eamon, where can the good people of the internet find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Eamon2Please, and you can also check out the wrestling company I'm involved with, which is Inspire Pro Wrestling, over at InspireProWrestling.com.
All right, you can find me online for See Civil War again, or you can find me at MadMike4883 on the Twitter machine, where don't worry, I will not spoil Civil War this week. If you haven't seen it this week, fuck y'all. But yeah, you can also go to our Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page where we talk about things that aren't Civil War, and we talk about a lot of NXT and WWE and a whole bunch of crazy stuff. We talk about everything on there. We talk about it all. So just join the Facebook group. Chat with us. We love it. We have fun on there. So for Eamon to Please, I'm Mad Mike, and this has been your midweek